सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। We are planning to discuss the yajna and the 12 yajnas. As Rajaram said, we will restrict it to only the discussion of the yajnas. We will not take up any other. Clarifications from the other classes or anything. If at all we take up any questions, we'll take up only with reference to the 12 yajnas. Yajna and what we discuss in the context of these 12 yajnas. The first thing about yajna is to understand the application of the yajna karma into everyday aspect of life. We need to know what the yajna itself is first. So first I will discuss a few things about the very ritual itself, and then we will move on to the yajna and how it is all connected. Yajna comes from the root word yaj, to means to give, to offer, to sacrifice. So the moment we say to give, to offer, to sacrifice, a few things are implied in this. Offering to whom? The moment we say yajna means offering, offering to whom? The moment we say to whom, the higher entity comes into the picture. So in yajna, the higher entity is implied in the higher entity is implied in yajna. The higher entity, we call it as God. We call it as God, Ishvara, Brahman, any word. Traditional orthodox word is to use Brahman. The moment we talk about offering, what comes into picture is to whom it is offered. The moment we say it is the higher, bhavana, devotion is implied in it. So yajna karma, yajna means offering to the higher with right bhavana. So in karma yoga, bhakti, the bhavana is already implied. So we don't have to separately talk about, so in yajna karma, we don't talk about bhakti separately, because bhakti has already come into the picture. The moment we say offering, higher knowledge, bhakti has already entered it. We don't call it as dana, giving. Dana is also giving. Yajna is also giving. There is a difference. The difference in yajna karma is the karma becomes an yajna, the action becomes an yajna only when the higher is invoked first. If the higher is not invoked, it would be a very good worldly charity. Like I can do charity for for Blue Cross. I can do charity for COVID-19 cure. Now all these are also giving, and yajna is also giving. There is a fundamental difference between these. The fundamental difference is in all other giving, there is a worldly factor to it. When I say worldly factor, God is not in the picture. When I give it for when I give it for Blue Cross, there is no God invoked here. It is the benefit of something is invoked here. So in yajna, the first thing that you have to understand in yajna is the higher. The yajna means the higher is invoked. The moment we say higher, we need not. The moment we say higher, you can't be listless, disrespectful to the higher. The moment we say higher means bhavana bhakti is implied in the higher. You can't be indifferent to the higher. You can't be listless to the higher. You can't the higher can't be a burden. Somebody comes and asks you to give a charity for Blue Cross. You, even though you may not be interested, you may still, you may condescendingly also give. In yajna, all this is not applicable in yajna, because the first thing in yajna karma, what is implied is the higher. The first difference between all other giving and yajna is what is invoked here. The higher is invoked. The moment the higher is invoked, bhakti becomes part of it already. Therefore, in yajna karma, action with right bhavana is yajna karma. Yajna means action with right bhavana. What is the right bhavana here? The right bhavana here in yajna karma is for the purpose of spiritual evolution. That's the right bhavana here. Right bhavana here is not welfare of somebody. It's not me wanting to help somebody as a right bhavana. Here the right bhavana means spiritual evolution. No worldly strings attached at all to this karma. That's why when he is introducing yajna, the concept of yajna, he says, this world is chapter 3, verse number 9, is where he introduces yajna. Angenda ஆரம்பிக்கணும் யஜ்ஞா படிக்கணும்னா you don't start from verse 24 of chapter 4 ல இருந்து you don't start. You start from verse number 9 of chapter 3. Verse number 9 of chapter 3 ல தான் he introduces the word yajna first. And when he introduces itself, he introduces bringing in the clarity straight away. This world is bound by action other than those performed for the sake of yajna. Straight away he brings in the clarity. So he doesn't want you to misunderstand any giving as yajna. Straight away, there is all other activities versus yajna karma. This world is bound by action other than those performed for the sake of yajna. O Arjuna, perform action for that sake. For that means for the sake of yajna. Perform action for yajna sake. அது பண்ணும்போது ஜாகிரதையா பண்ணு. Don't get attached to it. Don't get attached to the performance of yajna also. By saying do not get attached to it, then the jnanam portion is coming. This is how in yajna karma there is the aspect of knowledge that guides it. There is the aspect of bhavana that guides it. Are you able to follow? When he is saying perform free from attachment, wherever we talk about detachment, that is jnanam. Jnanam comes and says detach. First you get it talks about detachment right till the end. First it will say do the spiritual practices with lot of attachment. By getting attached to the higher only, you will get detached of the lower, and then it will say get rid of the attachment to the higher also. So whenever we talk about detachment, you should understand detachment is the knowledge portion. The jnanam portion is detachment. So in yajna karma, these three are completely packed, integrated. The doing part is in yajna, the bhavana part in relation to the higher, the jnanam part is in relation to do not get attached. So yajna karma is this is how he introduces yajna karma. And he introduces yajna karma in the context of karma yoga. He introduces yajna karma in the context, he introduces yajna karma in the topic called, in the chapter called karma yoga. Yajna nale action. Yajna karma is action. The word yajna itself means action. And then if you say yajna karma means action. It is fundamentally wrong to make action. Therefore, we bring in why he brings in yajna as an prefix to action, because in yajna action, Ishvara, God is involved. In all other actions, God is not involved. Remembrance of God doesn't happen. The purpose of God doesn't happen. When I go and in all other actions, the purpose of all other actions is not the purpose of all other actions vis-a-vis yajna karma. What is the fundamental difference? The lakshya is the first difference. The goal is the first difference. What is the goal for all other actions? What is the goal for the yajna karma? The first difference. The second difference is the remembrance. In all other worldly actions, you need not the remembrance of God, Brahman doesn't happen. Even though the carpenter may worship the tool, even though the banker may worship the bank locker is not seen as God there. Yeah. Invoking of God doesn't happen there. Even though worship happens, but God is not invoked there. In yajna karma, that's why it's called as yajna karma, as in a special kind of karma, because the first factor is the lakshya, the goal. What is the goal for which this is done? Second is what is invoked. These are all the basics of yajna karma. These are all the basics of yajna. That Veda which talks about yajna is Yajurveda. Yajurvedam came from the word yajna. Yajurveda, the word of the four Vedas, Rik, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana, Yajurveda we say. What is the root of the word Yajuhu? Comes from the same root yajna. So that's why you find all the rituals, that all the yajna karma that is done will be of the Yajurveda thing. So yajna, the word Yajurveda itself is connected to yajna. In the framework I'm only giving the basic framework upon which we are going to build on this concept of yajna, and then go into the 12 yajnas and see how every action can be incorporated, how every action can be turned into yajna. So this is as far as the basic background of yajna is concerned. Yajurveda itself comes from the word yajna. all has the same root. Now, the most important thing to understand is the ritual first. As I started by saying, if you have to understand the symbolism of Ganesha, you need to understand the deity, the picture of Ganesha first, you know. Once you understand the picture deity of Ganesha first, the symbolism becomes clear. So if you have to understand the symbolism of yajna, we need to start with the ritual yajna. Actual yajna. What is what goes into the preparation, what goes into the actual ritual, how your ritual is, you do the yajna, other comes and helps you. Even today, when you do the yajna ritual, we will not do it by ourselves. You should not do it by yourselves. You have to invite you have to invite the priest. அவ வந்து தானே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றோம். Even though you know it by yourself, you still can't do it by yourself. So the samashti, the for you to do the yajna, straight away you have to recognize that you are being helped by the other, though it is your. So everything about the yajna ritual you need to understand first. First is, what is the definition of the word yajna? Offering. And when you offer, there is the offerer, and then there is the receiver, and then the act of offering. The giver, the receiver, the act of giving. Yajna comes in when you bring in the fourth entity, God, and add up. Angada yajna vardad. For in any worldly giving also these three exist. In any giving, there is the giver, there is the receiver, and then there is the act of giving. No remembrance of God, no reference to God anywhere. The moment you bring in the fourth entity, God, it turns into yajna. Are you able to follow? Then comes the actual. Then comes the first thing when you do yajna is what is known as the sankalpa. On this particular day, on so and so day, I am going to do this yajna. You take a sankalpa. Sankalpa is nothing but fixing the ideal goal. That's what sankalpa is. You don't say, whenever I feel like doing, I do. No. There is the sankalpa. That's what is known as sankalpa. And the moment sankalpa is done, you can't waver after that. That is why in the village rituals, they practice it to the core. They practice in the village, in the village functions, the village rituals, they will say, கையில காப்பு கட்டியாச்சு வெளில போக கூடாது. The sankalpa is done. The sankalpa is done means no other activity is. Everything takes a backseat. Everything takes a backseat. So the starting point of it is the sankalpa. ஒன்னொன்னு சொல்லும் போது I try to connect it to the worldly thing, and then you know exactly and then you can connect it to the sankalpa. And then comes the actual preparing the field of activity for offering. That field of activity is what is known as the yajna kund. I'm not going so much into those details, the complex geometrical shapes and all that. Vedic mathematics evolved because of preparing the kund. See, today we know only the 4 square bricks. We don't know the complex geometrical shapes involved in the kund and all that. Yeah. Civil engineering structures, the basis is the Vedic kund is the basis. The complexity that the complexity that the complexity that went into the preparation of the kund itself. The field of activity is prepared. Who's going to aid you in that activity? The team is also ready. The field of activity is ready. Those who are going to, அதனால்தான் முத நாளே சாஸ்திரிகள்ட்ட எல்லாம் பேசிடுறோம் இல்லையா? முத நாளே முத வாரமோ இன்னைக்கோ எல்லாம் பேசிடுறோம். So the sankalpa is done. The team is ready. The field of activity is ready. Then starts the actual ritual. இதெல்லாம் preparation for the ritual. Then starts the actual ritual. When you start the ritual, purification is done first. First thing that is done is purification. Clear? The vessels are purified, the ladles are purified. Atma purification, they purify themselves. Why so much of purification is necessary? Because what is being invoked here? The God, the Supreme. Since the God Supreme is invoked, that much of purity is necessary. It's not meant to say that worldly things purity is not needed. Yeah, here is something so higher that is happening. When something higher is happening, what do? Purification. So lot of purification happens first. Some of you would have done some rituals. If you don't remember, next time when you do this rituals, try and remember what all is said. He will come and purify everything. Clear? Everything is purified. First purification, they say, is the first purification. What do they start with? The first purification. The first purification they start with is purification through words. It's called punyaha vachanam. Purification through thoughts. Yeah, punyaha vachanam. They say holy words, and they say holy words, and that water is sprinkled all over the place. It means that entire place is now purified. Having purified, you are welcome. You are ready to welcome the God. Yeah, God welcome பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி பியூரா இருக்கணும் இல்ல. You have to be. Everything has to be purified. For purity is where God comes in. So punya vachanam is done. That is the preparatory purification. What is the preparatory purification means? Everybody comes in with the right attitude. You purify yourself. Those who have come to help you do the ritual, they purify themselves. That's why everything is purified. When everything is purified, how do you connect it? Everybody comes in with the right attitude. That's what purification is meant. Everybody brings in the right attitude. And then the sankalpa is done. The sankalpa mantra itself is very meaningful. The sankalpa mantra, yeah, some of them will know it. Manohar, Vijay க்குலாம் தெரிஞ்சிருக்காது இந்த mantra. Yeah, they may not know it. Yeah, they may not know this mantra, the sankalpa mantra. Mama upata samasta durita kshayadvara. Mama upata samasta durita kshaya. Turida means fast, quicker. The quickness is for what? The quickness could be to get the phala. The quickness can be for moksha. So எப்போ சங்கல்பம் பண்ணிட்டாலும் we need to remember that. Clear? Gods will differ. Gods will differ. Everybody will, depending upon the sampradaya, the God will differ. Sri Parameshwara Prityartham, they will say. Narayana Prityartham, they will say. It doesn't really matter. What it means is the sankalpa brings about the reminder again. That's why sankalpa is very, very important. Sri Parameshwara Prityartham. This is done for God. The Parameshwara Prityartham. So and so action is going to be, so and so action is done. The yajna, the proper sankalpa is done, the yajna begins. The yajna begins. And when the yajna begins, first thing that is done in the yajna ritual is thanking all the ingredients that is helping you to do this yajna. See, today we talk about environmental, you have to be thankful to the environment, you have to be ecology and all that they talk about. No. Yeah. Environment, natural, you have to be all. So first thing they do before they start the yajna is they thank the grass, the darba grass that is helping them to do this ritual. They thank the grass, they thank all the materials that is helping them to do this ritual. It means recognition of the totality. When you do all this, what happens is there is the recognition of the, by default you become acutely aware of the totality. இதெல்லாம் ritual தான், actual ritual தான். As I am explaining the ritual, you will be able to connect it to everything that you are going to talk about later. I am still talking about the actual ritual only. Are you able to follow? So we thank the grass, we thank the grains. If there is a very rare ritual like Ashwamedha is done, the Ashwa is thanked, the horse is thanked. The idea is without this material, you won't be able to do the yajna. Why you need so much? Because you are at a level where so much of desires and likes and dislikes is still there. You are not yet ready to do manasam karma. You can't sit and do yajna mentally. If you are going to sit and do yajna mentally, you need not thank the grass, you need not thank the grain. There is nobody. If you can do that mentally, you have matured into jnani. Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Verse number 3. Since you don't belong to the Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam type Arjuna, I am going to talk to you about Karma Yogena Yoginam. What is implied here? Likes and dislikes is there. It means since lot of likes and dislikes is there, the thoughts will keep running to the world. Since the thoughts are running to the world, to do an action, you need to take things from the world. When you are taking things from the world, first thing that you do is to say, first thing you do is to say thank you. So the stage is set now. It is such a dramatization of this yajna ritual itself. See, today we are doing it so mechanically, nothing makes any sense. The doer doesn't know, the doer doesn't know. Those who are Those who comes and helps the priest, they themselves do not know most of it. So it looks so mechanical. At one point of time, it became so mechanical. Anything higher can become mechanical at some point of time. Like chanting the Lord's name, like you can chant Vishnu Sahasranama very mechanically, no. As your lips are chanting, as one part of your mind is chanting, the other part of your mind can be elsewhere. How is it possible? No, it is possible. If you chant and if the mind travels, no, you know that it is possible. Sir, அது கிளாஸ்ல தான் அப்படி போகும்னு நினைச்சு அங்க கூட அப்படி போகுமான்னா wherever it is, it can. I thought only கிளாஸ்ல மட்டும்தான் அப்படி எல்லாம் போகும், மிச்ச ஏரியால எல்லாம் I thought it won't go. Now wherever it is, it can. Wherever it is, it will go. The moment mind has left the picture, it turns mechanical. So the presence of the mind while doing it makes it mechanical or not. While you are doing it, if the mind is not present, it is mechanical. While doing it, if the mind is present, it is worship. So is the mind present or not? Now how to make the mind present is the challenge in Yajna Karma. How to make the mind present? Recognize the totality. That is why purification is needed. Recognizing the totality is needed. Recognizing the team is needed. When all this is done, the mind is more the mind is more available in the present. In the present means while the action is happening, the mind is present. Now the fire is lit. If you have observed, when you are lighting the fire, who will be called to light the fire? Vijay, உனக்கு தெரியாது, அதனால தான் உனக்கு சொல்றேன். Who will be called to light the fire? The wife will be called. The wife has to come and start. It means she comes, she oversees everything, everything is ready, everything is in order, and then she says, start பண்ணுங்க. So that's how she is made part of the ritual. She may not sit and do the ahuti. She will not sit and do the ahuti. But who lights the fire? You can't light the fire by yourself. That is why in the Ramayana, Rama felt very bad. Sita left. Everybody was crying, Sita left, Sita left, Sita left. Rama was also crying. Why is he crying? He said, from now on, I won't be able to do any yajna. I won't be able to do any yajna because starting point is Sita varna. Sita illana, no work can be done. Then they found a method. Make a golden Sita and she was there. It means what? At every stage, the collectivity is getting reinforced. How everybody's participation is must. That is why the wife will be involved when the ritual, when you start the ritual, that is the actual lighting the fire. When you give dakshina also, wife is very needed. Wife illama you can't give dakshina. Enna correcta daanam kudukriyan, she only checks. He only comes and checks whether பேசின ரேட் எல்லாம் கரெக்டா இருக்குதான்னு she only checks. So she is the one who, so that way she is part of, because she is being the monitoring factor of these two, she is called Dharma Patni. Why she is called Dharma Patni? Because she monitors. She is the one, she is the monitoring factor. Agni is lit na, God has descended nartham. God has come. in the modern day, in the Agama type, now this is Vedic one, Yajna type. In the Agama type, which is what most of the pujas and all we do, has got nothing to do with the Vedas that much. It is more Agama. That is why the God is invoked in the deity. When we do the puja, God is invoked, God is made to descend in the form. The deity is Leon. When we do the Ganesh puja, we make the Ganesha out of turmeric. It is ordinary turmeric powder only. Yeah, and then when you say Asmin Bimbe Mahaganapatim Avahayami Dhyayami Nakada, that turmeric powder now the turmeric powder has turned into Ganesha. Now you don't look at that, you don't say that as a turmeric powder anymore. You say that as, you call that as Ganesha. For you it is Ganesha because you have done it. The third person will say, what a foolish thing, turmeric powder, what are they doing? For you it is not turmeric powder because for you, what you see in it, you don't see the powder, you see Ganesha because you have invoked. See, in the yajna, the moment the fire is lit, God is descended. And then what do you do? The fire has to be kept alive. The fire has to be kept alive. The fire is the fire represents the higher ideal. The fire represents the higher ideal. Fire represents God Brahman. And it has to be kept alive. And how is it kept alive? By constantly feeding it. The ideal is kept alive by you constantly performing actions for that ideal. That's how it is kept alive. How the fire is kept alive? By you pouring ahuti. You don't lit the fire and go away. Inniki idu porum sir, naliki we will start. You don't do. To keep the fire alive, it has to be fed with constantly it has to be fed. Just because you do the sankalpa and God is invoked doesn't mean it will be there. Actions also has to be done to keep it alive. And what is that action? That is the action of offering ahuti. That is the action of offering ahuti, because constant activities has to be done to keep it. Constant activity has to be done to keep it alive. Now the fire is kept. Now the fire is alive. Lot of attention is made to ensure that the Agni doesn't die. The Agni should not die. In fact, there are people even today. They are called Agnihotris. They are called Agnihotris. We had a film actor also, no? Yeah, Agnihotri na film actor da nyabam varudhu. Yeah. Agnihotri, what a wonderful name. Where the fire is kept alive. And when the fire is lit when you enter the Grihastha ashrama. The fire is lit when you enter the Grihastha ashrama. And the fire will be put off only under two conditions. When you enter the sannyas ashrama, which is what? Jnana yogena sankhyanam. When you enter that, fire is put off. Meaning, no more actions is needed for you. Till that time, Jnana yogena sankhyanam level you reach, that fire has to be kept alive. That fire has to be kept alive. In the Nitya Karma, Agnihotra is Nitya Karma. Agnihotra is Nitya Karma. I said the fire will be put off only in two conditions. One is Jnana Yogena Sankhyana, when you have matured to the level of sannyas, where you have transcended these karmas, Agni gets put off. If you don't reach to that level, what will happen? That Agni will be used to do samskara for you. So even your samskara is done with the purified Agni. That's why one of the essential karma is Antyeshti karma. Antyeshti means the last ritual. The last ritual of the last ritual of disposing the body. Yeah. Beautiful is that. So that Agni you maintain. It means what? Die with your boots on. Fire kept alive till the last breath of your life. Na? Die with your boots on. Higher ideal. Through process of knowledge and understanding, you don't wait for die with your boots on. La. Quickly mature to Karma Yogena Yoginam quickly mature to Jnana Yogena Sankyanam. In fact, if we have failed in Jnana Yogena Sankyanam Nakada, this fire will be put off at your Antyeshti. Symbolic it is. The sun carries the fire, the continuity. The fire is the continuity of the fire is established. Continuity of the fire is established, and just because you are gone, the ideals are not compromised. The ideals are carried away. The ideals are continued. The ideals are continued. Shraddha ceremony is nothing but a remembrance of that ideal. Shraddha ceremony we think is feeding them. No. It's not feeding them. It is the remembrance of that. It is the remembrance of that ideal they have lived for. But sir, in generation, yaar the mari ideal la vechinde illiye. Doesn't matter. Still do the ritual so that you can remember all this. You follow? Still you can remember all this. This is the Ahuti part. Ahuti part means by actions, by continuous actions, you keep the fire alive. And when you keep the fire alive, that fire has to be of pure nature. Pure organ the fire. Kali, Karali, Chamano, Javacha. I gave this reference. The color of the fire. The color of the fire. Color of the fire is the purity of the fire. So to bring the purity to the fire, when you give the ahuti, you say idam na mama. Every action you consciously bring in this thought, idam na mama. Appada the yajna karma. It's not that I said it once in the morning and then rest of the day I forget it. For your remembrance once, that portion alone is yajna karma. Rest of the portion of karma is not yajna karma. That is why after every ahuti, they say idam na dhanna mama. If you pour ahuti 108 times it will be repeated. Idam na 108 times it will be repeated. Idam na mama. Idam na mama. Beautiful is that mantra. In that idam na mama, the entire message of yajna is captured. Swaha is offering. Idanna mama, swaha is the action. Idanna mama is the attitude. You do the action, you check your attitude. You do your action, you check your attitude. You do the action, you check your attitude. Adna yajna karma. You don't take your attitude for granted. You don't assume that you have the right attitude all the time. Every second, every minute, you are checking it constantly. Adu karma yogi. If you are checking it like this, a time comes where you will become a Sankhya, Jnana Yogi. Always remember, Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam. Throughout this 12 Yajna portion, I'll be constantly referring to this formula. I'll be constantly referring to this formula. Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam. So, in every action, one part of you must make an effort to check the one part of you must make an effort to check the attitude. That is why after every ahuti, which is the part of the action, you check your attitude. How do you check your attitude? By saying idam na mama. Idam na mama. Idam na mama means not mine, not mine, not mine. When I say not mine, what is it that is not mine? What is it that is not mine? The effort is not mine because already I have invoked, the collectivity is there. Since I have already thanked the collectivity, I can't say all my efforts are, you can't say that. You know? If you say all hard work, you have forgotten the thankfulness that you did to the collectivity, the totality. Are you able to follow? And when you say idanna mama, what is it that you what is the question I asked?
What is not yours?
What is not yours? Idanna mama. What is not yours? What is not yours? First thing, all that is helping you to do this action is not yours. Arambathile, the starting point of itself, it is established. Using the material that is given, you only modify it. The pot is the modification of the clay. The clay is not yours. The pot you made, but the clay is not made by you. Therefore, when you make the pot, you thank the clay. As the totality. That is what remembering the totality means. For you didn't create the clay, you only modified it. Are you able to follow? All scientific inventions are modifications. They don't create. That which is there, they modify. But when they modify it, the arrogance can come into and say, it is mine. Are you able to follow? When you are modifying, the arrogance can come and say, it's mine. Yajna karma says, you are only modifying it. Modifier get a credit to, credit them for you. You can't take the entire credit. What is it that is the totality? Other than we say the 5 elements, the trees, the oxygen, all that. I'm not the details all that we'll be discussing in the subsequent classes. We will be discussing all that. Are you able to follow? So, what is it? Na mama, not mine. The materials with which you are modifying is not yours. So, first thing, adile arrogation goes away to a very large extent. Second is, you look at the people around you who are helping you to do this yajna. The material is not yours. Without the help of the people around, you can't do. That is why the help the priest is the team. The priest is the team. Team work pandrome priest adan. Without the totality you cannot do. Without the immediate help also you cannot do. Then comes your effort. To your effort also you say Namama. Why namama? Because maman sonna kartrutva, ignorance, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Maman solliyachina, what comes in? And although the wise fellow will never say mine gravarte, I, mine gravarte, they will not use. Because the moment you say mine punarapi jananam, or vaati mine sonna innoru janma. Mine kartrutva. One more janma. So every aspect of the ritual namama. The material is not yours. Without the team, you could not have done it by yourself. Then comes your individual effort. That individual effort that you put in, you don't make an effort to get bound, no? Yajna karma is coming and telling you, don't do that. So much of effort is done to go and get bound. Kartrutva. So through your effort, you go and bind yourself. Through your effort, through the effort, so you say na mama to that also. Activity is over. Activity comes to an end. The yajna comes to an end. And then when yajna comes to an end, prasad is distributed. In yajna, what is the prasad that is distributed in yajna? The yajna that is distributed in prasad is not pongal. It's not the food. The prasad that is distributed from yajna is the ashes from the fire. The ashes. Yajna sishta shina santaha, he says. Later on when he talks about, he says, those who enjoys the remnants of sacrifice. Yajna sishta shina santaha. If you don't do yajna sishta shinaha, effort is the cause, agitation is the effect. Action is the cause, stress is the effect. Yajna sishta shina santa panna, action is the cause, moksha becomes the effect. In the world, people say action is causing stress. Action is causing stress, worry, anxiety, agitation. Why? Because it is not part of yajna. Yajna sishta shina santaha. If you are not doing this yajna sishta shina santaha, what are you doing? What are you taking up? Agitations, worries and anxiety is what you are taking up. Are you able to follow? So what they do, they take the prasad, the yajna ritual is complete. And then the last thing, dakshina portion. Yeah. Then comes the dakshina portion. Angiyo namamo you have to say. And the dakshinaliyum, because the team that has helped you to achieve this, they are worshipped. The team is worshipped. That is why the priests are worshipped. And how do you worship the team? How do you worship the team? They have eaten fully. You are still hungry. The karta is hungry. The whole family is hungry and they have eaten fully to their contentment. Yeah. So the team is fed. You don't feed yourself first. The team has to be fed first. Who helped you? Since they agreed to eat, you have to pay them for eating also. Look at that. Irony. Does it ever happen anywhere in the world where you are paid to eat? Have you ever noticed it? Huh? Nowhere else, nowhere else in the world it will happen. Only in Vedanta all this happens. They are eaten, and for that act of them doing it, they are paid also. It means what? Not only their immediate needs are fulfilled, their future needs are also fulfilled. That's why you give them the dakshina and send them away. Immediate need is fulfilled by feeding them. But இன்னொரு 5 hourல they'll feel hungry, no. அதுக்கெல்லாம் நான் பொறுப்பு கிடையாது சார். You don't say that. In the yajna karma, you ensure that their present needs are taken care. You ensure that their future needs are also taken care. அதுதான் தானம். You give them and send. And when you do that, they are eaten, they are contented. You are hungry. You are waiting for them to. You are waiting. When will they vacate the place? We are waiting because you are hungry. Vijay, sometimes they start at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Till 3 o'clock it will go on. They have eaten. So by the time you sit to eat, your hunger is gone, everything is gone. And look at the beauty of this ritual. How the team is attended to. Yeah. It is not attending. You see, we have to understand the priest as a team. Then only you can connect it rightly. Till this date, I have asked any number of Brahmins. They themselves don't know that the priests are a team. They themselves don't know that. You know what they think? I don't know what they think. Actually, thinking is zero thinking. That's the problem. Literally zero thing. So how do you treat the team? You feed the team first. And how do you feed? The immediate need is taken care. The future needs are also taken care. And when you take care of the future needs, how do you do? The same bhavana you do. What is the bhavana? That's why I have said this any number of times. Extraordinary is that act itself. The receiver is sitting. The giver is standing. Look at that. Kudugarava is begging, take it. The fellow who is giving is actually begging him. That's the mantra. Actually, you are begging him, please take it. And then he will say, idanna mama sollungo. Na mama sonnada, I will take it, he will say. Yeah, normal condition la poya sir da. Yeah, kudugarde jasti idhula enna ivlo conditions vera. Yajna karma is completely diametrically opposite to even all the worldly giving. So when you give, you say, you plead him, please take it. And that person will say, okay, he will check. How you will check? Na mama. Okay. Nee mattu na mama sonna poradhu. The wife also has to come and agree to that na mama. So she has to come and pour. She also has to come and say, collectively we are saying na mama, take it. Rendu perum sendu kudukreenga. Then that fellow takes. With the dakshina is over, yajna is complete. Next day, start another ritual. Next day, start another yajna. Next day, start another yajna. So, whole lifetime you keep doing. Yajna after yajna after yajna. This is the ritualistic portion of the yajna. The symbolic meaning and all that I will be continuing later. But today, You need a clarity on the actual ritual. As I started by saying, Ganesha, what a symbolism purinonna, first you need to know the idol Ganesha. Idol Ganesha with a broken tusk nakada, you will know that you can understand the symbolism. If you don't know, like if you don't even know the deity Ganesha, first thing that you have to be taught is the deity. So today I was only discussing the deity portion, the ritual portion. Because of the language and they are taught what they were doing in the olden days when they're doing the ritual, they were able to bring in the bhavana straight away because they knew. They knew. What is it they knew? The lakshya, the goal they knew, the ideal they knew. The ideal. Again, when you start tomorrow, what do you do? Again, you start from the beginning. What is from the beginning? Sankalpa, purification, Sankalpa, purification, a fire, and when you take the fire, you don't light the fire new. There is the fire that is burning all the time. There should be the fire that is the Agnihotra. There should be the fire that is burning all the time. From that fire, this is done. It means what? Fire is burning all the time means you are aware of your ideals 24/7. The fire is burning all the time means the ideal is being, you are aware of the ideal. So every time you do the ritual, you don't start out, you don't light the Agni from that. You just you just take Agni from the existing Agni. Existing Agni means actions are driven by the existing goal. The ideal is set first. The ideal is set first. And where is the ideal set? Where is the ideal set? The ideal is set when you enter the Grihastha ashrama itself, the ideal is set. Because the fire started from there, no. The fire started from there, na. When you enter the Grihastha ashrama itself, the fire is set. Why the starting point of it is Grihastha ashrama? Likes and dislikes, na. Some experience, some sensual indulgences are necessary. Some worldly acquisitions are necessary. Therefore, I need to get therefore, this Grihastha ashrama becomes a necessity. Even when you enter the Grihastha ashrama, you don't forget the goal. What is the goal? From an involved Grihastha to the attitude of sannyas in Grihastha. Grihastha sannyasi. கிரகஸ்தத்திலே சன்னியாசியா மாறறதுக்கு உண்டான டெக்னிக் தான் யஜ்ஞ கர்மா. ஓ இதுதான் யஜ்ஞ கர்மா, இது வேணவே வேணாம் சார் இனிமே. We will not do. If this is what yajna karma is going to do, na, you don't want to do yajna karma at all. So in grihastha itself, you have to turn into a sannyasi. Renunciation in action. How do you practice it? Renunciation in action solline irundha pathadu. You have to practice it. Yajna karma is a tool. Yajna karma is how you can practice it. Yajna karma is how you can practice it. The Vedas, with all their love and compassion, they really don't give complicated material for you to do yajna Allah. They really don't ask you to bring exotic material, exotic things into yajna. The twigs, the fire, the cooked rice. The cooked rice. They don't bring in 75 items you cook and you don't put that 75 items in yajna. Have you ever noticed? You don't put everything in yajna. In yajna, you put only that. Meaning what? It's not a complicated ritual. The ritual is not complicated. The higher ideal is not complicated. It has to be kept simply. Later on in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna takes the same principle of the material and then he says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. You offer me any leaf, you offer me any fruit, you offer me even a drop of water. What is the source for all this? What is the basic material for all this explanation that he gives in the Gita? The material that is used in the yajna. What is the material? That's why they keep it as the very basics, the dharba grass, the water, the twigs, just the boiled rice. I don't know whether you know it or not. Even today in the temples, when they offer it to God, they will not offer the variety rice to God Allah. Only the plain rice will be offered to the God. You will be given the variety rice as prasad. I don't know whether you know this or not. Plain rice only will be given. But sir, anga puliyodara kudukurangalena, that is for your taste. God takes only it means it is, otherwise it gets so complicated. They say they're trying to keep it as simple as possible. Over a period of time, when we complicated it so much, Vivekananda said, the entire religion in this country is confined to the kitchen, he said. In India, religion is kitchen religion, he said. What is kitchen religion means? What to cook, what not to cook. The elaborating that goes into the cooking. I am not saying you should not do all that. By itself, it doesn't mean anything. Some may be able to afford and do all that. If those who cannot afford, what happens to them? It doesn't really matter. Keep it as simple, but the yajna spirit has to be kept. The yajna spirit has to be kept alive. This is how the yajna is. This is how the yajna karma is done. The ritual is done, and prasad is distributed. And when prasad is distributed, it is equally distributed. Everybody takes care. Everybody takes it. Everybody takes the prasad. A collective activity reminding yourself of the divine is yajna karma. Sitting all by yourself, closing your eyes and reminding yourself of the divine is sannyasa karma. Both are remembrance of the divine. The difference is here it is done through activity and with the aid of so many. In the higher stages, you don't need any of this. You just close your eyes and you are able to remember. Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Yeah. This is the yajna ritual. Now, is there a qualification for the yajna karta? For the doer, is there a qualification? Yes, there is a qualification for the doer. The qualification for the doer is sankalpa. Bharat, the moment you do the sankalpa, you become and the sankalpa pannada varaikum, you are not the karta. The moment you do the sankalpa, we do that, no? Mama pata samasta duridakshaya dwara aramcha, you do the sankalpa, you become qualified for the karta. Sankalpa means you have taken a vow to act for a higher cause. That is sankalpa. Sri Parameshwara Prityartham. The yajna karma is not done for the benefit of it. It's not about the benefit of the others. It is towards the higher. So the moment you bring in the moment you bring in working for a higher ideal, the moment you bring in working for a higher ideal, remembering by the grace of God you are working for the higher ideal, it turns into yajna karma. So the karta is one who invokes the higher ideal, and the aid to for him to achieve that ideal is God. So, is there a qualification for the yajna karta? This is the qualification. What is the qualification? He needs to remember two things. One is the ideal. Second is the supporter. One who is helping you is God. Then you become from an ordinary karta you become a yajna karta.
Okay.
Are you able to follow? In the higher ideal, support of God, grace of the divine kondu varlena, you are ordinary karta. You are just a karta. The moment you bring in the higher ideal and divine grace, you become yajna karta. So these are the two things that makes you qualified to be called yourself as a yajna karta. Seriya? Is it okay, Bharat?
Yeah, yeah, Guruji, that's fine.
Yeah.
The question is,
Yes.
there are a few other qualities besides taking the sankalpam.
Yes.
For example,
Yes.
probably there must be some amount of studies that could have been going into the system.
Yes.
Or, for example, a student is entering the ashram for
Yes.
higher study.
Yes.
And then after some time, they qualify the student to take up these activities. And then he or she finally decides that they should be doing the yajna karta, and then it goes on.
Yes.
Then, so the question was that in coming back to the same, in Brahmin, have the thread ceremony which starts off at some age, maybe 7
Yes.
years or 5
Yes.
years, 6, 7 years,
Yes.
they start that.
Yes.
And then you go into the ashram.
Yes.
So that there is a gurukulam that goes into that.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the question was that I understand about the karta because everybody performs that.
Yes.
The question is, do you need to be qualified to do this particular yajna by means of studying and then qualification? Because you still then you understand what the whole purpose is,
Yes.
and then you qualify.
Correct.
Or is it that anybody can start doing it by virtue of being a karta or person who's supposed to do it?
Yes. Yeah. What Bharat is asking is, there is a traditional method. You do the brahmacharya ashrama and all that. You do the yajnopavita ceremony, study, and then mature, and then come into grahastha ashrama, and then you do. So there is a method there. So is it that way you qualify, or anybody who is a karta can do this yajna karma? Before you can do yajna karma, minimum knowledge is required. That is the symbolic of brahmacharya ashrama. Because it is the knowledge that comes and tells you. So the minimum teaching that is required before you start yajna karma is you shouldn't be working for selfish and self-centered purposes. The purpose of life is to realize the self. That basic knowledge is what is needed to start the yajna karma. Minus that, it will be a very good unselfish punya activity. Are you able to follow? Minus this, it would be a very, very unselfish punya activity. It will not, you cannot call it as yajna karma. For it to be called as yajna karma, a minimum shravana manana has to be done, which is done in the brahmacharya stage. That is why in the traditional systems, everybody goes to Gurukula. The Brahmana, the Kshatriya, the Vaishya, everybody goes to Gurukula. The fourth stage, the extremely tamasic people, they can't go there. What will they do? The Shudra not in the sense of how we understand them today, extremely tamasic category has to be forced into action, and by then they slowly wake up and then they qualify to the other three. So the vast majority of the human beings, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, all go to the Gurukula, which is the Brahmacharya stage, which is theoretically they are taught there. What is theoretically they are taught? You should not do selfish, self-centered activities. You should, the Jantunam, Naranam, Durlabham, all that is taught there. And then they said, work for a higher. So they are well prepared and sent to do Yajna Karma. Minus this preparation, you cannot do Yajna Karma. You will be only doing good activities. You will be doing good activities for which Punya will come. But Punya is not going to take you away from Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam.
Right.
Papa Punya is still part of Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Here, the idea is Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam. To break that cycle is the path here. To break that cycle is the ideal here. Are you able to follow? So, in that way, the qualification for the Yajna Karta is the person needs to go through minimum Shravana and Manana. Most of the study classes of us is nothing but the minimum preparation.
Yeah.
Most of our classes is the minimum Shravana Manana so that we can get into this Yajna Karma, Yajna Bhava. The Karma with Bhava. The Karma with Bhavana. Is it okay, Bharat?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, yes. Yes. What Ranjani is asking is about the symbolic meaning of the ladle, the havis, and all that. All that I will take up tomorrow. When we go into the individual detail, it will be connected to the individual actions. So all that will come. All that will come. All that will come tomorrow. Ganesh, நம்ம டெய்லி பேச போறோமா யஜ்ஞா பத்தி?
ஆமா.
ஓ ஆமா, அப்பா என்ன சந்தோஷமா சொல்றாரு ஆமான்னு. அது சரி, ஓகே. So அதெல்லாம் we'll start. I'll explain all this tomorrow.
So Vijay has got a question you not answered.
Yeah. Now Vijay has a clarification. Can a brahmachari do yajna karma? If fire is lit upon entering grihastha ashrama, can a lady be a yajna karta? Can a brahmachari do yajna karma? Yes. Brahmachari does yajna karma. His fire is only restricted to, traditionally speaking, his fire worship is restricted for a brahmachari. It is only restricted to what is known as Samhita Dhanam. His fire worship is restricted only to development of buddhi. So a brahmachari also does yajna karma, but his yajna karma is restricted to that discipline called Samhita Dhanam. He will not do anything else. And what he does in that Samhita Dhanam, the same reinforcement of the ideal of the intellect. That's why he takes the ashes from the Samhita Dhanam and he says, let my buddhi develop, let this develop, let this develop, let this develop. Because he's preparing his body itself is not prepared, the intellect is not prepared, so he's preparing himself for all that. So to answer the first part, can a brahmachari does yajna karma? He also does fire worship, but his fire worship is restricted only to that portion of what we call as Samhita. Samhita means sticks. It's a preparation. Samhita means he has to go and gather the sticks. He's gathering information. He's gathering the first class, second class, third class. For a mother, but then that is also done in the fire. So fire worship is done by him also. Who lights the fire there? The Guru lights the fire. Samhita inga grihastha ashramathula wife light பண்றாங்க. For the brahmachari who lights it, that is why that is slightly sanctity ஜாஸ்தி இருக்கு அதுக்கு. Because who lights the fire there? The guru lights it and he continues the fire. Can a lady be a Yajnakarta? Yes. The Shastras allow them to do independently. Directly they can do, they are permitted to do the Yajna karmas. Over a period of time when Smriti portions took over, and when the other things became predominant, modifications came into the picture. To an extent where the vast majority says, lady should not do Gayatri itself. It doesn't have any shastra, it doesn't have any Upanishadic Pramanam, it doesn't have, because the Upanishadic Pramanam talks about, you'll be very surprised for you to know. In the Valmiki Ramayana, Valmiki talks about Sita doing Sandhya Vandana in the forest. He talks about it. There is a reference. It means they were also doing. And if you go to the Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and all, இது ஒரு டிப்பு. ஏதாவது ஒரு உபனிஷத்துல இருந்து கோட் பண்ணணும், உங்களுக்கு அந்த உபனிஷத் பேர் மறந்து போச்சுன்னா சிம்பிளி சே பிருகதாரண்யக உபனிஷத். ஏன்னா எல்லா உபனிஷத் மெசேஜும் will be you can find it in Brihadaranyaka. In the Brihadaranyaka you find Gargi the Brahmin lady with Yajñopavita arguing with Yajnavalkya. So if you take the Upanishadic Pramana, it is there. Over a period of time when Smriti came, and then after the Smriti also, when the Puranic kind of religion started becoming more predominant, these things began. So இப்போ சம்பிரதாயத்துல அதெல்லாம் இல்லவே இல்லை. ஏன் அப்படின்னா our sampradaya is not much of Vedic and Vedanta associated. It is more Puranic based. So in the Puranic sampradayatla idella kediyadhu. But in Yajna Karma we are not talking about the Puranic sampradaya. We are talking about the Vedic, and by Vedic we mean the Upanishadic. So can a lady do na? Yes, they are allowed to do, and then you find the references right through. If he says Sandhya Vandana is the Nitya Karma, you find Sita doing Sandhya Vandana. Sita did Shraddha ceremony, no? That portion is more famous, at least relatively speaking. Sita Sandhya Vandana பண்றது நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்காது. Sita did ancestral when Rama and Lakshmana went, the time was getting delayed. So what she did the Shraddha by herself. It means she never had the doubt whether should I do it or not. It means they were doing it. That's why she never had a doubt. Now a lady of today, she will be so doubtful whether should I do it or not, because the sampradaya today is more Puranic based. So Puranic based, Smriti based. In this classroom, what we are going to discuss and establish is the Vedic, the Upanishadic Sampradaya. Since we talk about the Vedic and Upanishadic Sampradaya, Vedanta is seen as anti-religion. Are you able to follow why it is seen as anti-religion? It is seen as anti-religion because it is when Kalidasa, Shakuntalam, he says, the Kanva Rishi, she is leaving the forest. Kanva is talking to the trees. Bless her and send her. Bless Shakuntala. He is asking the trees to bless her. She has been feeding you. She has been taking care of you. She is doing everything. Bless her and send her. It means they were part of every activity. In the Puranic based system, the distinction came, which is a corruption, which is I'm not getting into the politics of it, why it happened and what it happened. Adallam politics. I'm not getting into that side of it. But Upanishadic sanction irukku. There is a Vedic sanction, there is a Shastric sanction for all this. Seriya? Is it okay, Vijay? Yeah, right. We'll continue. So Ganesha decide pantaru daily we are going to talk அப்படின்னா. He decided that we will do this 12 yajnas. He decided the time. He decided everything. Evening I asked him, என்ன பேசணும் எழுதி கொடுத்துருங்க, I said. அதையும் கொடுத்துட்டேன்னா அதையும் அப்படியே கட கட நான் படிச்சுட்டு போயிடுவேன். It becomes very very simple. நல்ல வேளை that portion alone he left it to me. I said, okay, அப்பாடா, thank you for that. Narayanji, he decided everything.
Your fist is guiding me. Your fist is guiding me.
He decided everything. He did everything. I said, okay. So he decided that tomorrow we will meet. So we'll continue with this tomorrow 6:45. As I said, we will restrict this discussion only to this yajna, and clarifications and questions and everything we will take up, entertain only with reference to this. Seriya?